Hey everybody, this is data encoding with Pandas. So, what's the whole idea here? So, we have a sample data frame here. So, we've got a column with session ID and we've got almost six values there. And we have device type, which is like mobile, desktop, tablet. And there's like fixed set of values. And we have a browser type, which is again fixed. So the thing is, when we apply machine learning or when we run machine learning or deep learning algorithms, we need to convert textual data into numbers, right? And we need to do some encoding where we could say, oh, okay, for example, I could say, let's say, assign mobile to, let's say, one. For desktop, I could assign this as two, and for tablet, I could assign, let's say, three, right? And same works for browser. So for browser, I could say for Chrome, I'll say one, and for Firefox, I'll say two. For Safari, I'll say three, and I think we have Edge there, right? For Edge, I could say four. Now, if you look at this, now for this very simple example, this has three values. So for device type, has three values, three sets of categories, I could say. And for browser, we got four values. What if the column had n number of values, which where we could not just manually just compute this? We need a really nice way to kind of encode this, right? And this is where a function called get dummies from pandas comes in, right? The function is called get dummies, right? And we'll just apply this. So we'll just run the data frame just to see how it looks now. And it's done. Okay, we just need to print the data frame. We'll just do print df and we'll see how that looks. And this is the data frame, right? So we have, except for device type and browser, or all our columns are in number format, and we'll just convert the device type and browser to numeric format. So the way we do this, we can say the encoded df is equals to pd. This function comes from pandas. We'll say get dummies, and I'll provide my data frame. So my data frame is called df here, and I'll just provide the columns that I need to encode. So for example, I'll say browser here, which is the column that I need to encode, and I'll just do this, and I'll just print both the df and the encoded df, and we'll see what happens there. And if you look at this now, for each of the different values or distinct values in the browser column, I've got n new columns now, right? So I've got browser Chrome, and it says, is it true or false for that specific row, right? And so what it's done is it's created this n distinct columns for each of the unique values or distinct values in for that column that were we specified, right? And we'll just provide this for the device type, right? So let's just provide device type there, and this should create columns for both browser and device type. And it's like pretty huge, so we cannot see because there are a lot of columns. And so let's just assume that works, right? And just to see the output, we'll just keep it with browser. And one thing I want to do is I want to provide the data type, right? Which means I think it's called type. Let's see if we can get that. I think D type, yeah. So for this, I'll say uint8. I think that works. And just try this. And there you go. So now, instead of saying true and false, it just said it's 0 and 1s for each of the respective columns of browser Chrome, browser Edge, browser Safari, and browser Firefox. And that's all you need to do, just one line of code to convert your textual column. Even if it has like 50 or 60 distinct values, this just takes care of that process. Thank you so much for watching.